What's happening? Benton here. Still road tripping westbound on I-40 in Oklahoma. Figured I listened to about as much content as I wanted to hear. Hang on, we got a big old group of cars catching us, and there's an RV up here. So what they want to do is they want to run me into the RV to slow me down to pass me. So I'm gonna slow down way ahead. Everybody's hauling balls, but for some reason it's turned into a slow driving contest all of a sudden. So give me just a second. Once all these 100 cars that appeared out of nowhere get around me, I'm going to pass this RV up here. It's almost like they knew I was going live. Very strange, very strange. Have a yap and drive simultaneously. Bear with me, almost there. It's just like out of nowhere, 50 cars just descended on me. Of course, I could go 85 and pass, or I could be patient and wait. It's finally cleared up. Stopped at a Love's earlier, had my black beans and sardines. Delicious. Never could manage to get in there and use the bathroom, though. Finally just had to go find me a bush outside because I got the shy bladder. I don't know, it's probably the hypervigilance. It's hard for me to trouble getting things going when I'm on stage for whatever reason. What weren't no chance of a stall. And now I've messed up, and there's no Dollar Trees out here. Dollar Tree sells these window shades I use to cover up my car windows. I threw all the old ones away. I guess I should have kept them because that's the one Dollar Tree I made it to today. I didn't have them. That's all right though. Somebody will have them. Once we get to Amarillo, hell, they probably got 10. They probably got $10 trees. Part of a weekend in Amarillo one time in my old car. My I don't know how much I've talked about my '99 Hyundai Accent two-door hatchback. In some ways, that's my favorite car I've ever had. That thing was a great car, man. Eventually, the alternator went out in San Francisco, and I just never could get with it enough to try to find some charity organization to pay for it to get it fixed, which I'm pretty sure would have been possible. I said, fuck it. I think they gave me, that was years ago. I think I got like $280 for it. Some guy on a flatbed showed up, wrote me out a check. Oh shit, let's slow back down. Hang on. So those who may not have caught this morning stream, no more truck driving, maybe forever, but who knows. But I lasted 7 full weeks. I got paid today. Now here's the question is, I thought my paycheck would be about $1,500, but it was $1,000. So they might have some fine print where they're like, oh, if you don't stay here 3 months, we charge you for, I don't know, what do they call it? Onboarding costs, orientation, whatever the fuck it is. Don't know, don't care. Realistically, I could, and the more time I spend in this delusional system of death and destruction, it's like, it's just not worth the time and effort. I could absolutely get the money out of them eventually, but and I could try to say, well, what about this 22 and a half hours I spent waiting to get loaded? I know, and they know. I just live in the truck anyway. What's the difference if I wait in a rock lot, gravel lot of a shipper? Hell, I had enough time to make it to Wally World, so what's the difference? Speaking of Wally World, they got me hooked on these damn Tate's cookies and the double chocolate, and now I keep stopping at Walmart and nobody's got the double chocolate. And I'm not able to stock up. I'll just eat all of them. I try to buy 3 or 4 packages. And my gout's already telling me it's probably time to hold back lay back in the cut on the double chocolate. I don't know what we're gonna do, man. I guess just fucking roam up and down the West Coast. I mean, what else is there to do for Mr. Benton here in life? What is there left to do? Well, this is some high level material going on in the chat right now. Well, that is some high level material in the live chat, or was. It's gone now. Hilarious. Trying to help the stream along, I suppose. But yeah, we're coming up on this trucker, man. I got some weirdo trucker out here driving fucking weird, man. It's probably a foreigner driving strange. I pass him, and then he keeps passing me back, but then he slows down. So I don't understand it. I'm just gonna go slow, and they can do whatever the fuck they want. I just let them have it. I'm in my little car, my little Nissan Versa. Got my tags renewed. Got my driver's license renewed. We looking good out here. General Tommy Franks Leadership Institute and Museum. Next right. Exit 66. Say it ain't so. They put the damn General Tommy Franks Institute at exit 66 on Route 66. What the hell is going on? Had a couple ladies trying to cruise me into Super Center. Just pulled into the Super Center. I said, I might as well stock up on apricots and beets and see if they got my cookies. Now, I resisted the urge to get the lesser cookies because the ones I've tried have been okay. Although I like a good oatmeal raisin cookie, but I think if it was heated up, it'd been all right. But I really wasn't feeling the oatmeal raisin. The chocolate chip are okay. I only got the chocolate chip because sometimes they have a half size bag. But double chocolate, man. I left them in the car the other day. They got all warm and gooey. Oh, man. Amazing. And then, who knows what's actually in it, but, based on the ingredients on the package, it's all, real ingredients for the most part. So none of that unhealthy oil bullshit. I found I can eat. There's a lot of stuff I can eat as long as I avoid the bad oils. Oh yeah, back to my my Hyundai Accent, '99 Hyundai Accent hatchback. It was blue. It's a good car, man. I remember I took it to Amarillo, and I must have been tired. I think it was summertime or it was hot, and I ended up kind of on the beat side of town, the beat up, run down side of town. Spent like half a day laying around the car. I think at some point I was in a parking garage downtown somewhere. I think I might have took a grumpy in the stairwell. I'm not exactly sure how that shook out. That's just typical. Oh, here's the same. See this? He's playing games. This is that same trucker. See, he can't. He's bored, I guess. I think sometimes these truckers, they want to try to get a rise out of people because he's going anywhere between about 85 and 65. And since I'm distracted, I keep catching up to him. So I don't know how slow I got to go to not catch back up to him. But last time I passed him, I ended up going 80 to get in front of him. So I think I'm about done with that. And hell, I'm on a road trip anyway. What do I care? But one thing I noticed about Amarillo, now granted, I believe it was a Sunday, but dude, that downtown was dead. There's a bunch of big ass buildings in downtown Amarillo, Texas. For how small the town is, great roads for it's maybe 100,000 people. You know, great roads, big wide roads. Nice place to go for a trucker. Yeah, my trucking days might be over, but I can probably next time I get broke and get sick of living with nothing, I can probably go live in another truck for 2 months. Right. If this company hadn't harassed me so bad, I think probably I could have stuck out at least another month, maybe longer. But we're headed west. We got a car. We got how much money? I think around 7 grand, something like that. About 7 G's, maybe a little more. Well, by the time we get there, it'll be a little less than seven. Probably gonna. I don't know, man. I might drive all night on naps. I can drive on naps, and it ain't hot out here. It's not hot out here yet. If I can get my window coverings, I can find me a little shade somewhere and take a nap. Only thing about driving at night, the fucking hailstorm, man. The hailstorm has fucked up my tail lights to some extent, and I've been too lazy to get the red, the red electrical tape. At least show the popo we're putting out an effort. I'm not even sure I can be bothered to do that at this point. What's up, Dick? Good to see you, sir. Hope you're well. Sure you are. Yeah, man. Almost 4 years off all this bullshit food, Dick. I feel great. And I don't want to get too TMI, but I do like talking about the health stuff. This is not health advice. I'm talking about myself. But I remember old Dick's testimony. At a certain point, he got to where he couldn't poop, and I wasn't able to poop. And today was a rare time, Dick, no pooping. But and again, TMI, my apologies, but it's because I've deviated from my schedule a little bit. I got up a little earlier and cleared out of the motel probably later today. But yeah, we're quite regular now that I knocked it off with the fucking bullshit foods. Amazing how that worked. People out here eating fast food, Dick, and want to go out here acting like they're holier than thou and their shit don't stink. Yeah, you're right, Dick. Their shit don't stink because they don't poop anymore. Motherfuckers poop once, twice a week. I think at a certain point, Toilet Bowl Earth revealed that he hadn't pooped in like 10 days or something. Just imagine what, well, I can't, I mean, shit. Either way, that ain't no way to live. And then got mad at me because I was telling him how Taco Bell wasn't real food. I don't know, man. I eat real food and I poop every day. At least once every 24 hours, if not more. This motherfucker eating Taco Bell can't poop in 10 days. What the fuck is that? Yeah, I love how people drive. They love to drive in the fast lane and force the other car. They run them into the rear end of my car so they don't have to speed up the path. And then everybody's on their phone. But hell, I'd be going 75 except that fucking truck. Some truck decided he wanted to play games. I guess he's bored. I was like, fuck it. He can have it. I'll just slow down. I don't give a damn. Yeah, there you go. Dick says his body's fixed itself in many ways just by changing habit. Yeah, it takes a long ass time, don't it? It takes longer than most would expect to reset. Absolutely. Because this is my opinion based on my own experience. The body, man, it don't really believe us at first because it's like, yeah, all right, motherfucker, I see you cleaned your act up, but I feel like it suspects you're just going to go back to the old ways eventually, right? So it's skeptical. The body's wiser than we are in many ways, in my experience. So, And man, I'd rather not even eat a lot of times. I can get by with less, but then one thing, man, is when I eat more calories, my testosterone goes up. But the problem with that is once my testosterone goes up, my hunger goes up. So I probably don't even need them cookies because if I eat the cookies, it's 1,000 extra calories, which I can handle because I got a trim waist. But my gout's already telling me, hey, man, maybe not all that sugar this many days in a row. And then all it's going to do is make me more hungry. So I probably need to back off, right? Listen to the body. The body's like, hey, we're good, man. We had a couple of high testosterone days, got to feel your fucking oats a little bit. Now back off, buddy. You're 49. Chill out. Chill the fuck out, partner. Dude, my joints feel so much better. Just from when I first got to LA trying to walk around, man. Fucking joints were killing me, man. And I got a high pain tolerance, and I'm always a little bit in denial. Like, it's like, yeah, it hurts, but so what? So, but then later on, looking back on it, I'm like, damn, dude, I was hurting. My shit feels good now, man. I jogged around on them rocks at the shipper a little bit when I first got there and thought they were actually going to load me. And finally, I said, no, I better not be doing this. My fucking knees are going to be sore. I forget I'm old, man. Gen X is forever young. I don't think we'll ever truly figure out how fucking old we are, man, which is good. I like being old, but I enjoy it. I like it. It suits me to be old. I'm going to be a particularly good old man. Ghostface Chris, too. What's happening? Rick in the house? Yeah. Zero bowel issues. That's right. Oh, pistachios. Yeah, nuts are difficult to digest. And I have this problem where I eat way too many fucking nuts, man. I can't hardly resist them. So several times in LA, I would just find, I guess maybe the homeless, the food bank maybe was giving them out. I kept finding like entire bags of walnuts, shelled walnuts. And I ate way too many one time. And I finally got to where I would just take like a handful and just leave the rest. It's like, man, I got no self-control. Something about me craves them walnuts, man. That's very difficult to digest, walnuts. And nuts in general. Macadamias do that to me too. Pretty much all nuts. Very difficult to digest. Yep. That's right. Hit the like, you NS. Yeah. Here's JG. JG in the house. That's got to be JG, right? Spiritually attacking me with respect to, well, maybe that's true, JG, but at least I ain't as ugly as you, right? I kid. It's all love, man. Good to see you, sir. I fantasize, if this is JG, I fantasize sometimes about, well, not fantasize, but I imagine being on one of these road trips and looking over at a cargo train, paralleling the interstate at times, saying I'd like to I'd like to catch sight of JG just once on the train, living his best life on the train, hoboing it up. Yes, sir. But yeah, JG, if that's you, and it's probably not, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, one bozo's interchangeable bozos, right? We got interchangeable bozos in the chat for the most part. So what's the fucking difference, right? And I don't mean you, Dick. Dick's one of a kind, certainly. But yeah, appreciate everybody being here, keeping me company on my westward ho. I walked into Walmart. Hell, I've been to about 3 supercenters, maybe 4 today. Walked in one of these Walmarts, I think. Oh yeah, that shithole Oklahoma City, general vicinity of Oklahoma City. And I walk in the front door, and the old wrinkled up bitch, of course she wasn't even really old. She's about my age, right? Maybe a little younger, 40s, maybe 50. But dried up. I paid her no mind because she was talking to some old man, having a conversation. Then here comes the way too loud greeting, yelling a greeting at me, that fake cheeriness. I said, look, bitch. I caught her on the way out the door. She wasn't paying no attention. I just as loud and proud told her to have a nice day. Oh, you have a blessed day. Just said it just like if the sound of a voice could kill, I'd be dead, man. Just the pure hatred in her heart for me, man. That's I'm not a victim, but in a delusion, in this delusional, in this realm of death, delusion, destruction, decadence, depravity, I am, you know, since we're all pretending like it's a physical realm, right? It's part of the delusion, and I'm this ridiculous experience as a at least at first glance a heterosexual white male, right? And just the pure fucking hatred, man. These broads, I can't speak for you fellas, man. Some of these broads. Now the older ones know I'm not gonna fuck them. Now some of the older ones that actually were hot when they were young, they still think they can catch my eye, right? The ones who were good looking as youngsters, or not even youngsters, the ones who were good looking when they were 20, college age, they try to catch my eye, right? The 40, 50-year-olds, but they're usually done up too. They're still hanging on to whatever little bit of male attention they can get, right? A lot of them. And then some of them are just good looking, but the ones who are actually still good looking usually not trying to get my attention. A lot of them usually got a few extra pounds on them, whatever. Not in Southern California, of course. But man, these younger ones, 25 years old, 28, 30, man, they look at me like they can't decide if they want to fuck me or fight me. I'm not even kidding. I'm like, I look at them, they look at me. I'm like, man, this is crazy. If this broad is looking at me like she can't tell if she wants to fuck me or fight, hell, maybe both. And I'm like, which one's first, bitch? I don't even. It's like I'm not down for either one, but I'm just kind of curious what order do, or is it simultaneously? Is she gonna beat my ass while she fucks me? Like, what is this? Right. Meanwhile, I don't want to have to go back into training for the sexual Olympics. Right. I'd like to think them days are over. A couple days a month, I might, have a little private time and make sure everything still works all right. But whatever. I'm not trying to involve anybody else in that. I mean, I hesitate to even talk about it. But and all the casino signs, it's the guys' night out. It's three guys, and then the other casino signs, it's some like dressed up woman in her middle-aged woman all done up, living a baller lifestyle. Because hell, a lot of these women make $250,000 a year nowadays. They say now more single women own homes than single men. Women are outperforming men in dystopia, or males, I should say, males anyway, in a lot of ways. But then, in the olden days, the casino, it was like they might have a depiction of an actual couple, right? Not anymore. Not anymore. They say Vegas. Y'all heard about Vegas? They say Vegas is the prices have skyrocketed because I guess a lot of these casinos are going to a new pricing model, where they're actually selling off their properties, but then they're leasing them back. Whoever owns the casino is still operating the casino, but they're selling the property in the building and the dirt. But then they're selling it under some sort of lease agreement because whoever's buying it doesn't want to operate it. And I know just enough about business to be dangerous, right? And it's Vegas is certainly a boom bust cycle. Also, I can't even talk. It's almost a World Series of poker. I got half of mine to go check out the World Series. I'll tell you what's going to stop me from checking it out. The goddamn greenhouse effect. What am I going to do? I'm not going to pay for a motel room. Although one year I found a screaming deal. Me and ex-wife number one stayed at the LVH, which was I think used to be the Las Vegas Hilton way back in the day. It's a nice hotel for how old it was. I think we got a week for it's like $280 or something. That thing was nice, man. Again, for what it was, I got a real good deal. But we got there too early. By the time I got sick of fucking around in the poker room, we just left before the actual tournament started. But I wouldn't mind playing some $1,500 tournament. But I don't think it starts for maybe another week or so. I don't know. Maybe I should check. It'd be funny if this was like the first day or tomorrow or something. I always wanted to at least play in one World Series poker tournament. Of course, we could always YOLO and play like $1,000 satellite and try to win a seat into the main event. I am pretty good at a single table sit and go. That's what that is. Single table tournament. I understand the mathematics of it. It's just get lucky. Play the math right and then hope to get lucky. It's pretty much all that is. Shove and pray. That's right. Make it rain yelling drug money. Oh, shit. Man, I don't think I could do a strip club anymore. Ghostface. I went to them some as a young. Well, I won't even say as a younger person, but I think that's. I won't call it a phase. I just think I'm. I think I'm over all of that. Personally, that's me. Yeah, I'm hearing about Vegas. Just it's and I think what's happening with the country, and if I could too strongly identify with the delusional realm for a moment, at the risk of identifying with the realm itself too closely, um, it seems like a lot of the idea of economy. It's really more and more. A lot of this stuff is moving towards like we don't even want to try to get the poor people, or they don't even want to try to get the poor people's money. Now here's Elk City. I wonder if they've got a Dollar Tree. Probably not. I think I looked already. I need window shades. Damn it. Uh, yeah, it seems to be going to where and they know some. There will be some version of Middle America that just goes there anyway. Gets some kind of settlement, gets an inheritance. I mean, from the perspective of Vegas, I mean, why would they give a fuck about the people who go there to get the best deals anyway? Like that's not a pro. They don't make profit off of those people, and those aren't the type of people to get swept away gambling and lose thousands of dollars either. So apparently that's a thing. Where Vegas or the casino or the strip club? You mean strip club or Vegas? Said he went 2 weeks ago. Well, I'm not getting very good fuel mileage on this last tank of gas. Oh well. We're flush right now, so it don't really matter. So here's the thing: if I'm going to get a motel tonight, although it's Friday, that's another problem. Like, Amarillo's got cheap motels, but even the cheap motels are going to be, I need to roll in there midnight or whatever. When they realize they're not going to fill up. Hell, it's too early to check in. I'm so up early in the morning. So I think I'm probably just gonna take naps and maybe do another cup of coffee maybe at some point, and probably maybe go all the way to Barstow and then just hope they don't break into my car. Anybody been to Barstow, California, man? That place is run the fuck down. But one of the benefits of that is, for whatever reason, Barstow's got a shitload of hotels and motels, and especially by Cali standards, they are not. Wouldn't call them cheap, but dude, I'll do 150 for 2 nights, because what I've learned about motels, man, is one night is fucking pointless unless it's such a long journey where you just need a fucking night's sleep and you're not willing to try to do it in the car, right? I find it the idea of checking into a hotel for one night's just completely pointless. I mean, especially if they enforce the check-in time, it's like 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and then you got to be out of there. How many hours is it till 11? Meanwhile, I'm up at fucking anywhere from midnight to 3 a.m. and I don't mind leaving early that second day if I'm going to hit the road early. You know, what's the point of checking in at, even if they let me check in at 11, I'm going to, 13 hours later, I'm already ready to roll out of that motherfucker. It's pointless. Pointless. See, I'll probably try to get all the way to however far I can go and probably just get two nights, rest up. I don't want to hit, if I end up going to LA, I might go to SF. I haven't decided yet. Hell, I might go to Santa Cruz. I might go to Santa Barbara. It's nice having options. I might go to all of them. See, here's the single woman. It's either a group of guys, every once in a while it's a group of women, but it's more and more it's the single woman. And I think part of that is the idea of, hey, maybe she, in the back of her mind, she's going to fill in the part where, hey, I'm fabulous and I'm gambling and I make a high income. Maybe one of these men will approach me, right? And here's the single guy also, single black man, and the one before was a single black woman. I don't know, man. It's weird. Tell me it ain't weird as fuck in 2025 dystopia. It is weird as fuck out here, y'all. Surreal. Unreal, man. It really is. Unreal. What was that? That guy that YouTube channel? I can't remember the guy's name. He always walked around with his swinging his arms all crazy. And he'd go unreal. He was on to something, man. He was ahead of his time. You're damn right. Oh, here's a super center. Oh, I've been to that super center a bunch of times, hitchhiking and traveling on 40. For some reason, that's a Walmart that a lot of travelers end up at, posted up, hanging out in the parking lot, panhandling and such. I don't know why that is, but it's been remodeled too. It used to not be, unless I'm tripping and that's a different one. I think it's the same one, though. I'm almost certain of it. But back to the can't tell if they want to fuck me or fight me. The some of them, not all, some of them just want to kill me. For real, man. Like that little college age chick at the Starbucks in New Boston, Texas. And some of these small town, you know, you think it's MAGA, man. Some of these small town chicks, bro, I'm not nearly as hated by the a Los Angeles white girl as I am by some of these small town college chickies. And man, I think she'd have just slit my throat and left me there if she could get away with it. It was brutal. And then wouldn't even give me water. I said, "Damn, I'm just trying to work," and wanted to explain how bottled water works, you know. And this is back to the righteousness, and I'm over it, man. I'm just next time I'm gonna be like, "Look, bitch, I know how bottled water. I don't need you to just. Why are you explaining bottled water, bitch? You think I'm not smart enough to figure out Starbucks sells bottled water?" And I won't say bitch, but it's like, do you really think I was an early adopter of Starbucks, actually, especially going to the West Coast. Hell, Arkansas probably didn't even have a Starbucks, and I was going to Starbucks. Now they're everywhere. Oh shit! Here's the cops. Now we're all gonna slam our brakes on. We're not even fucking speeding. Now I got to go 55. We got to go 55 and a 70 because people are out of their goddamn minds. I was going 62. I got to slow down because this is an insane person in front of me. Oh my God, we're all guilty of something. Guilt and shame. We're guilty. We're guilty. We're guilty. It's a popo. Got to slow down to 50. But it's not like he got off his phone. I looked over. He was on his phone. We're guilty of something, right? Holy. What a disaster out here. Yeah, exactly. Tweaker motels deep in the desert. Here goes a biker gang. There goes, oh, there's a trike. A couple of trikes. Let's not be too too tough. They're getting old. Biker gang, look out. Make biker gangs great again. How about that? I might have to buy a quart of oil, man. My car don't burn no oil. I drive this bitch between 7,000 or 10,000 miles between oil changes. And by the time it's finally time to get an oil change, it might be coming up on a quart low. Man, these Negroes at the Valvoline and Valvoline oil change in Dallas, I think they shorted me about a quart. There's a fella out here walking. I used to pick everybody up. I definitely ain't picking him up with that dog. But I've become more selective. I don't. We ain't picking just everybody up anymore. But he ain't hitchhiking. But yeah, man. I might have to buy a quart of oil. I checked the oil before I left out. I said, damn, fucking monkeys. Oil change monkeys. Them Hispanics never did me that way. Fuck. You know what? No blacks changing my oil in Denver or fucking where else did I get it changed? Uh, Somewhere in Cali. I don't even remember. One of them King City type places. What you know about King City? You know anything about that, Grills? What you know about King City? I'm trying to think of some other towns out there. If that's on the one, I think it's these towns on the 101, like south of Salinas. I'm going to say. I don't really know. I'd have to look at a map. But, there's several of them. There's some pretty decent grocery stores I like to stop at out there. King City. I think it's King City's the only town I can think of the name of right now. Somewhere in there. And I look at some of these places, man, and the white people look down on the Hispanics. I say, man, white people ain't even figured out shade, man. At least not the ones where I'm from. I know one day I was in Mountain Home, Arkansas, driving all around, and didn't have nothing to do, and probably had to wait on something. And up there in Baxter County, I drove around, couldn't find a lick of shade. Just fucking, it was between like noon and like 3 p.m., dead of summer. Could not find one patch of shade anywhere. I think the only hope was to pull up find some shopping center somewhere that was at the proper angle, maybe pull up behind it or whatever. My God, you go to a shopping center in King City, there's some motherfucking shade somewhere, Jack. Oh, well, Mexicans are lazy. Well, because they understand shade and they know how to maybe not die in the middle part of the day. Fucking bozos. What is this? What is there honor and we're going to go out there and let the goddamn sun boil our brains? Where's the honor in that? Yeah, Highway 101, exactly. What's up, Rebecca Joe? Good to see you. Yeah, I love Highway 101. I took that motherfucker all the way up to in Santa Barbara it goes west and east. But I went all the way up to Washington State. It goes fucking left to right. That's a goddamn twilight zone when the fucking 101 goes left to right instead of up and down. But yeah, it does that in SB, as we know. But also in Washington State. One of the rare times I was desperate enough hitchhiking that I actually rode in the bed of some old boy's pickup truck. A couple of good old boys, Washington State rednecks. That might have been general vicinity of Aberdeen, maybe somewhere in that general area. Shout out to Kurt Cobain. Yeah, we're not doing too good on the mileage. I blame that Murphy's Oil gas. I felt like I used to do good on that Murphy, but I think the thing with that Murphy gas, if I go slow, it does good. But if I go like 75, it ain't worth the fuck. And I know I've mentioned it before. I got from Los Angeles all the way to the company yard at this on the southeast side of Dallas Fort Worth, Hutchins. Now that I don't work there anymore, Hutchins, Texas, for $120. Now some of that is just being able to go 63 miles an hour for hour after hour after hour. That's part of it. But yeah, we ain't worried about that this time. Although I'm going to stop in Kingman, Arizona, and fill up. And if I could stand the car stinking like gas, hell, the fucking gas jug would just about pay for itself. I could get a couple of 5-gallon gas jugs and still probably come out ahead filling up gas jugs. It'd at least pay for the fucking jugs. I ain't doing all that though. I do like the smell of gas, but I ain't. Although I bet that might run the bugs off. Shit, that might run these bugs out of here. Maybe I should do that. That's right. South facing beach. Yeah, it's not technically true, but it's pretty much the only south facing coast that's not like a bay, like an actual protected bay. That's my understanding of it anyway. Pretty cool, man. Definitely it does get a little colder than folks realize at times. It will get down fairly close to freezing every once in a while, but yeah, I like Santa Barbara quite a bit. Big fan. And I mean the whole county, not just Santa Barbara proper. I really need to go there and just make myself check it out. But the fact is, Grills, I'm never, a lot of these places, the car, I've done so much traveling, man, the car really is an impediment. So, I need to just go ahead and burn the boat. But the problem is, man, a car has so much utility. It's hard and it's not worth anything. It has no value whatsoever. I could, you know, best case scenario, and especially once I get it to California, it's not like it, just with the lens, just with the hail damage and the fucking lens. It's not like it'll pass an inspection. Now I know some of these people they'll get it passed anyway, but either way, man, it's not really worth anything. I can technically sleep in it, although I'm kind of over all of that. I don't know, man. I think I know I would have the most fun and the most adventures, the most novel experiences. The car is absolutely it's an obstacle to all of that. But then I'm probably going to go to the Pacific Northwest, but I don't want to get there any earlier than about July 1st because I don't like getting rained on. Although I did master camping in the rain, I finally put my big boy pants on and did a part of a rainy season in Eugene and learned how to pitch my camp in the goddamn rain and stay dry for the most part all during the daytime. Which yeah, oh yeah, it's real fucking smart. Yeah, it takes a lot of brains to figure out to just stay underneath a pavilion somewhere in a public park, right? But yeah, it's pretty. It's basically what we're talking about. And then some people are like umbrellas, and I'm like, yeah, but you know what? It's like rock, paper, scissors. You know what defeats umbrella is wind. So that's why I'm never an umbrella guy. It's like, yeah, rock, paper, scissors. Fucking wind beats umbrella. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm not down with that. Yeah, they're great if except wind exists. Other than that, yeah, umbrella's fantastic. How about a goddamn slicker or a poncho, right? How about that? Yeah, perfect weather for growing cannabis. Oh, and what are you talking about in Santa Barbara? Man, some of my favorite weed, man, in LA is grown in Santa Barbara County. That I forget the brand name, dude. And I waited till they had 40% off. I didn't even wait. It's just they had 40% off at this dispensary I like to go to in LA up in Silver Lake. and 40% off. It was such a good deal, and I guess the bud tender knows that that's good bud. He was like, he looked at what I was buying. He was like, "Damn, this is cheap." I said, "Hell yeah!" It was at I forget the brand name, but it's grown in Santa Barbara County outdoors. Oh my god, dude, love that pot. I think it was Blue Dream strain. So good, man. Some of the best. And see, you can't even really go by the percentage. The percentage wasn't even that high necessarily. To me, the percentage is almost meaningless. It's like, yo, man. Yeah, amazing cannabis. And I keep saying I might be post cannabis. Really, I need to just learn to fucking take like a puff or two and then chill the fuck out. My problem is I like to get fucked up, so I gotta have the. I need some version of the wall, 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 wall. Like I fucking go till I can't get any higher. Really, it's like, man, why? It's not exactly that, but it's some version of like, again, unreality, right? Another biker gang. Oh, and I'll tell you another reason why I left. Because I really, man, honestly, in a vacuum, I would have absolutely stayed another week in the motel. But so, I heard so, and I never know when the holidays are, other than the actual holidays, 4th of July or Christmas and New Year's. All these other holidays, I don't know. It's Memorial Day weekend coming up. I have no fucking idea. But I happen to hear so. Oh, this is a huge ass something because the cops are either pulling them over or escorting them. I can't really tell which. Looks like escorting. Yeah, it's some kind of funeral or something. I guess. Who the fuck knows? Maybe some pig died. All cops are bastard style. Who knows? Anyway, um, fuck the police. Fuck the police. Fuck them. But what the hell was I saying? Shit, I can't remember. Oh, yeah, I'm going slow, sir. I sped up to let you get on the freeway because I knew that you wouldn't know what the hell was going on. So get to it there, Texan. Anyway, it'll come to me in a minute. Whatever the hell I was rambling about. Oh yeah, Santa Barbara. Just weed. Yeah, weed. Getting high, getting too high. No such thing, of course. That got me onto something else, but I don't know. It'll come back to me or not. Hotel? What? Oh, biggest greenhouse in the country's in Camarillo. Interesting. Had no idea. Um, had no idea. Pretty cool. Now, I'm still on record. My favorite, what I think's the best outdoor is Southern Oregon. That's just my opinion. But uh, obviously California's got a lot of great pot too. In Southern California, underrated, man, for sure underrated. And some people will say, "Oh, that's Central Coast." Well, whatever, man. Whatever. Either way, it doesn't have to be Humboldt or NorCal. Yeah, definitely underrated. Underrated cannabis. But that's Southern Oregon. That's a whole other animal right there. A whole other animal. Tomato greenhouse. Carpinteria County bought it. That's interesting. Yeah, I like old Carp, man. Carp's a cool place. I saw a police chase one time. I think I was trying to panhandle in Carpinteria or something. I was walking around. I don't know exactly what I was doing. Fucking police chase went through on the 101, and I found out later that the guy got away, man. He escaped on foot. He abandoned the vehicle and got away from it. Like, good on you, sir. Well played. Now, see, I just want some coffee, but it's my body's like, no, we don't need coffee. I could half and half it with the decaf, but here's a Flying J, but we don't need to stop for a bathroom break. Guess we'll pass it up. We're getting to be where once we get on the other side of Amarillo, there won't be a whole lot just exits with like a gas station or two. But I guess in Amarillo, I'm gonna have to go to Dollar Tree. Well, I mean, I get to go to Dollar Tree. I'm almost certain that they'll have what I need there for my window shades. SB is the last stop of SoCal. Yeah. Oh, according to prison politics, anything north of Goleta is not SoCal. There, that makes sense. 'Cause I used to talk to people, and it's like I'm not from California, but people used to try this, Central Coast thing. But I'm like, yeah, but I mean, culturally, this is fucking SoCal. It's 100 miles from LA. Like, you know, I mean, come on. I can take a bus. If I want to change buses a couple of times, I can get to LA from here on the goddamn local buses. Like, come on, it's fucking SoCal, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, okay, Central Coast, whatever. It's not really a thing as far as I'm concerned. And it's like, yo, man, if I got a car, it's not. And if California One's not fucked, like it ain't that. I can drive. I can be in Half Moon Bay. Like, yeah, it's hours, but it ain't. It's not crazy. It's not like a crazy amount of time. And I'm in the fucking Bay, man. Or Santa Cruz. You gonna tell me Santa Cruz ain't NorCal? Of course it is. What's this Central Cal? What's this Central Coast nonsense? It's always been a coast to me. But again, I'm not from California, so I'm not going to argue it with anybody. But that's my opinion. Yeah, thank you, sir. Well, Grills, I am an anthropologist. Not officially. I'm a layperson anthropologist. So yeah, I like to study these cultures. It's like I used to get made fun of because I can't say Goleta properly or Goleta. It's like, yeah, man, I can't. My accent, like I understand. I hear the way the locals say it. I can't make that sound. Like, please quit making fun of me. You know, like believe me, I use the local pronunciations as much as possible. As much as I'm able to. Like, yeah, I'm into the whole local thing. Pismo, yeah, yeah. Central would be five cities. Yeah, and yeah, slow. Yeah, yeah. Slow is kind of its own thing if that's what you mean. San Luis Obispo. Yeah, and I know there's a Pismo Beach, but I don't think I've ever spent any time there. So some of these places I've only ever really like just kind of driven through, or maybe hitchhiked through them or whatever. But San Luis Obispo is kind of a trip. Just passing through it several times. It's a trippy place, I would say. And I'll tell you, and I know I've said this to you before, Grills, but the one place I always say I'm going to go and then I've never gone and I probably never will is Ojai. And which is kind of crazy because like Krishnamurti lived there. I think he died there actually. There's got to be some sort of shrine or museum to Jiddu Krishnamurti, however they pronounce it. Jiddu, is it Jiddu? I don't know, whatever. But I don't know. I've just never bothered to go to Ojai for whatever reason. Maybe one day, probably not. I'll probably never go. Maybe it's just that's the way it's supposed to be. Well, and then you get into what is that? That godforsaken town on the coast. I always forget the name of it. Uh, fuck. This is the early onset dementia, which I'm getting so old, it's not even early onset. So it's more or less like, yeah, you're that age, buddy. But what is the name of that town? Somewhere near the Air Force Base. What is that place called? That's kind of a trip. It doesn't ever seem to be any reason to go there. Yeah, I might as well. I mean, what else am I going to do, Grills, with my life? Now that I've come to this true knowledge of self, I understand. I won't say I have everything figured out. I've figured out enough about the delusional nature of the realm, the unreality, the surrealism. A cult called the Jehovah's Witnesses fucking trained me in public speaking. I like it. I might as well just, and I understand that, most folks, they're just going to double down on dystopia and delusion. That's fine. That's their right. I believe in freedom, but, who knows? I might find some home near a campus somewhere. I could probably just go from campus to campus around Cali, Oregon, and Washington, depending on who's got the good weather. It just, like some version of Matthew McConaughey. I get older, they stay the same age, but it's like, except I'm celibate and all this. So, who knows? And again, I don't believe in woman bashing because as much as I complain, I'm not even really complaining about women so much as I'm complaining about the male-female dynamic. Uh, and again, like humans annoy me. It's not really the gender. It's not gender specific. It's not like guys are awesome and don't annoy me and look at these crazy broads. It's not that. So you never know when some lady might take interest in my studies or whatever my artistry is. I'll probably get me a camera, uh, an actual proper camera with a zoom, proper optical zoom on it. Dude, I miss so many fucking awesome photography opportunities in Los Angeles. One of them would have been perfect, man. It's just I didn't even try with my phone because I realized it was like I have to have an optical zoom. It's the only way to get this shot. Oh man, it would have been great. I can't even begin to describe it, but it would have been perfect. Oh my God, it would have been perfect. Yeah, Ojai. Yeah, I need to go to Ojai. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. I'm not even gonna. I'm done trying. I've so many times I've promised myself that I'm finally going to Ojai, and I never do. So we'll see. What I need to be hitchhiking and get picked up, and they're like, okay, yeah, we're going to SF, but first we got to stop off at our friend's house in Ojai or whatever. Okay, cool. Some version of that probably. It's like, yeah, we'll take you to the Bay, but you're gonna have to be patient. We got to swing through Ojai. Like, all right, man, I'm down. Let's do it. First time to Ojai. They're like, what? It's like, yeah, I'm not. I've been all over California, just never to Ojai. So yeah, great, fantastic, fan fucking tastic. Uh-oh. Am I still being spiritually attacked in the chat? Good thing I'm not. Good thing what I am can't be bothered by any of that with this true knowledge of self. And it definitely warms my heart to be not directly engaged in commerce at this time. Although I recognize it's certainly the wage slavery, it certainly could rear its ugly head. Uh, I'm definitely looking forward to July and August in Portland and Seattle. As long as they don't. I mean, at this point, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I might. It might be some version of make the sign of the cross and just watch them stab me to death, right? And I'm not manifesting. It's just I'm sort of tongue in cheek saying that. But at this point, I'm not even able to fear that. What might happen in Seattle or Portland. It's like, hey, don't do me any favors. I'm trying to get out of here anyway. Of all the ways to go, I'm not sure being stabbed to death is the worst, right? It's got to be on the higher end of what a way to go out. What a way to go out like a sucker. I want to join a gang. They'll have my back with gats. That's some that's some Bay Area rap right there. Souls of Mischief. What a blessing to be listening to such music in the '90s in Arkansas, of all places. Shout out to skateboarding, or I don't think I ever would have heard it. Although we did manage to catch some hieroglyphic, actually, Souls of Mischief, and maybe a little bit of Hyro. Uh, I think maybe I heard Cab Fair back then, the famous track from Hieroglyphics on some college radio station back in the day in Arkansas, perhaps. Yeah, coming nearby to a college campus near you, perhaps in the future. Uh, Benton and his crazy sounding ideas about the nature of reality. However, not that I would be selling a product, but I'm pretty sure that existential dread, you know, is off the charts right now. Seems to be based on what's showing up in my YouTube feed. The existential dread seems to be off the charts, right? So I'm pretty sure these newfangled ideas of mine, which again, nothing new under the sun, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, see, I've slowed down in the fuel economy. Of course, it's gotten less bad. Of course, it has. All right, now it's a race because we're going down to one lane. So hang on, I've got to put my game face on here. I get the game face on so they don't try to run me off the road. Yeah, college radio. Yeah, there you go. KCSB. There you go. I bet it was, man. Well, I had a friend I met from Southern California that I met in Eugene, and he used to make fun of some of my music selections or whatever. And I'm like, bro, I did not grow up listening to radio in Southern California. Like, I'm from fucking Arkansas, man. I don't think he'll ever truly be able to relate to what I went through. Like, just the vast fucking desert of entertainment, right? It's like, I'm from Arkansas, man. Like, it's a fucking miracle that I heard some of this stuff in the first place. Like, a fucking miracle, you know. Yeah, no, I'm not going to be able to keep up with SoCal fucking, you know, cool points or whatever. Cut me some slack there, Bubba. Here's some old bombed out and depleted motel here. Good Lord, that thing's. It's like they started to demolish it and just gave it, said, fuck it, what's the point? I don't know, man. What is the point? So I guess we're coming up on wherever them cars are, the half buried cars in the desert, probably somewhere in the, I don't know how close we are to Amarillo. Can't be too far by now. Hang on, let's check the battery level. We're doing pretty good. That's another thing about truck driving, man. I'm sick of these truck driving apps on my fucking phone, dude. My battery life improved immensely the moment I uninstalled that WhatsApp bullshit. That app is fucking bullshit, man. It works good, but it drained the fuck out of my battery. Oh my God. What a nightmare. No, I quit already, VC. I did 7 full weeks. They gypped me. Good to see you. They gypped me on this last week. I got paid, man. And some companies will mail the last check. Some will keep it as long as fucking physically possible. But I think I should have got around 1,500, and I guess they drummed up some kind of bullshit reason to only pay me $1,000. But I'm okay with it. However, technically, I bled over into the first day I bled into the next pay period. So for all I know, I'm going to get $500 next week. So if I had to guess, I'd say probably I'm getting the rest of it next week. But although I'm pretty sure they're the type to pay, just go ahead and pay the money. But they might be the type to just say, fuck it, we're going to mail the last check. So, which would still be okay because I'll get it eventually. Go to my mom's house. So I'll get it eventually. And I got everything in my mama name. Yep. But yeah, man, I like to drive, and I can't deal with this. Dude, I don't even want to complain about truck driving right now, but it's fucking clown shoes, man. The industry, it's a fucking wrap, dude. It's been a wrap for a long time, but basically this is the transition to self-driving. There's the first sign I've noticed, historic Route 66. So I'm thinking it probably did when if you look at the map, the way it comes down from Chicago, it probably doesn't hit 40 until somewhere around Amarillo, I'm guessing. But I'm just going from memory. So. And what is it, man? I've asked on road trips before, like what is it about Route 66? I don't know, man. There's something to it. In fact, I don't think it's a coincidence that the first time I went to Cali, I left out of Fort Smith, which is on I-40, and I took I-40 all the way to. I don't remember where I went exactly, but I know I bypassed SoCal. I didn't want to bother to go through LA, so and I had not yet been to Santa Barbara yet. So the first place I actually went to was Santa Cruz. I spent like 2 weeks in Santa Cruz, and I went up to San Francisco and loved it, of course. Fell in love with SF to some extent. And y'all can call it, it's funny, people think about it as a gay city. It's pretty much the only place in America where I don't get, just overtly crude to some extent. They're over it. It's like, yeah, there's gay people. So what? Like, they're just over it. It's not a big deal. I get creeped on everywhere but there, so it's good. But so I think I went up through Bakersfield, and then like I want to say I cut over through like Gilroy to get to San Francisco Bay, but I don't. I'm just going from memory. That was just me like looking at the atlas. I don't think I even had. I don't know if I even owned a smartphone back then. You know what? I don't think I did. I don't think I even had a smartphone. That would have been like 2011. I'm sure I had. Did I even have a phone? Now I had owned a phone by then, but it wasn't such a part of life back then. I may not have actually had a phone at all. Just full stop, no phone. Maybe, I don't know. If I had to bet money, I'd say, yeah, I probably had a phone, but certainly with not much of a capability, I wouldn't think. Is the Blitz over yet, truckers? I'm 13th through the 15th was the Blitz. I missed that. Yeah, I guess it's over. Oh, really? Word has it the feds have been alerted about Talcott. And it's funny because did you say you called him what? Trash Talcott? Which finally StreamYard got their act together and they made their little referral link button smaller, but because of that little bubble now with the low, to drop the referral link for StreamYard, I thought you might have written Trash Can Talcott, which Trash Can Man reminds me of one of the few Stephen King books I've ever read, which was The Stand. In fact, one of my favorite novels, low key, one of my favorite novels. That was a mind bender back in the day, and I read it in the '90s, and before I transitioned almost entirely out of fiction. And for people who don't know, I've read, thousands of books for real. In some ways, I was the originator of my 1,000 books memes, in a way, and got made fun of for it to some extent, which is fine. Oh yeah, here we go. Welcome to Texas. It's almost like I never left. But yeah, we'll be coming up on Amarillo, so probably stop the stream fairly soon. But I think it's still like a good, probably solid 50 to 60 miles before we start getting to the outskirts of Amarillo. Just going from memory. So we've got a few minutes, and I can always tell the GPS to maneuver us to Dollar Tree and then keep yapping, right? But yeah, Trash Can Man. Something about this so-called truth community reminds me of that book. If anybody's ever, and forget about the movies and the miniseries, I'm talking about the actual book, right? Which I've read multiple times. I want to say I've read it like 3 times. I don't recommend a lot. That's a book worth reading, I would say. In fact, I need to go back and read it just to see, like, was it in any way, foretelling of the current? Because that was I would have read it when it was like, a person could read that book or 1984 or whatever and not really see that many of the signs that, oh, okay, society is becoming or has become, versions of this. But at this point, man, society in some ways seems like a version. I almost feel like I'm living that to some extent. So I'm glad you mentioned Trash Talcott, because it's like made me think of that book, The Stand. It's like, really, what else is there left for me to do than to go to a specific part of the country where I know I can just live out my days, if necessary, just going up and down the fucking coast, follow the fucking weather. Just at what point is it just I'm walking up and down the coast, right? Just living out my days. And I may hang on to this car just because, well, I mean, why not? At least hang on to it long enough to drive it to fucking Seattle or whatever. But even that's not necessary. I can get my happy ass from SoCal to the Pacific Northwest. It's not that big of a deal. Fuck, I could probably just get there and start walking, honestly. I could probably just go there and just ditch the car and just fucking walk, honestly. I mean, why not? What else am I going to do? I have way more adventures. It's way easier to sleep outside, living that. I'll pretty quickly pick up a fucking tarp or whatever. I got plenty of money. Why the fuck not? It's just without doing the logistics, if I start getting rides, people start giving me rides, I might get there too quick. That's really so here's how my mind works. Where do I need to stop so I don't hit the rainy season? Like, how far can I go? And also, like, yeah, I'm probably not going to want to fucking lay up in Eureka or something, and it's rainy there too, but I don't know, Garberville, right? It's like, yeah, I could probably pitch a fucking tent in Garberville and not get stabbed by the meth heads necessarily. Although I'm definitely smoking weed if I end up in Garberville. Hell, I'll end up like buying half a pound for $100 or something. Like, Garberville's one of them type of places. It's like, how about some free fucking, scissor hash or whatever they're calling it. Oh, I think that must be the cars, the buried cars. That looks like where people stop for the cars. Although maybe not. That might just be a regular old pull off. I don't know. Somewhere out here east of Amarillo. Yeah, Talcott. Yeah. Ty Lopez? Yeah, no kidding. Fuck, I was on the internet before Ty Lopez was born, probably. How old is Ty Lopez? Like, I was probably actually on the internet before that fool was born. Like, pretty decent chance, actually. And I guess in a way, I'm glad I don't have my computer anymore. Although, hypothetically, it might still be retrievable. But I think I'm just going to chalk it up to the game. And if I ever really need, it's like I could still buy another $80 screen off of Amazon. It is still the golden age of cheap electronics, tariffs or no tariffs. It's not like I can't get $100 El Cheapo fucking mini PC. I don't have to have a $200 one or $300 one. It's not like I can't get a whole fucking computer set up for no more than $300, right? If I feel like I need it. An audio setup. Hell, I still have. Trying to think. I think I left most of my better audio gear with the computer, but I still got I'm pretty sure I got a little bit of audio stuff. I don't think I have any audio interfaces with me, but it doesn't even matter. All that stuff's dirt fucking cheap, man. I mean, it really is. What? Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Mini PCs. And since I'm a former computer nerd, I like to get the ones that have like a little bit better of a processor or whatever. But dude, with me running Ubuntu or Lubuntu, however we pronounce that, and not really running anything too intensive. You know, I can get by with one of those $150 mini PCs, no problem. Or wait for a deal and get one for a hundo. You know, I forget what they call that. Whatever that chip is, it's like the N500 or some shit. I know you know what I'm talking about, BC. Because I was a computer nerd, but like I'm talking like circa 1999. So like in 1999, I knew like all which processor went to which motherboard and all. I worked at a computer store, you know, the whole fucking. I was ate up with it, brother. I had 3 computers at my house and nobody was allowed to touch them. It's like I said, no, it's my hobby. Leave my shit alone. And my wife didn't give me no lip. She knew. It's like, bitch, you gonna be jealous of a computer? Really? Really, bitch? I had that attitude back then. Like I was never a nice guy, but you know, I was sort of I simped in other ways, but I didn't realize it. I'll admit it. I simped a little bit with my first wife, but I did no simping to get her right. It was like slowly but surely she sort of you know in a topping from the bottom way, she subtly fucking maneuvered things to where I appeared to be. It's just, realistically, I just didn't give a fuck. Once I got up to a size 40 waist, VC, that bitch fattened me up and I let her do it, you know, and brought me down to just normal testosterone levels. She knew what she was doing. Meanwhile, before we were, and it wouldn't have married if it wouldn't have mattered if we were married. That bitch went off to Cali for a week. She wasn't a bitch. That's a term of endearment. That bitch went to Cali for a week. I started banging one of my coworkers. Like that's how much fucking. I was just a crazy person. Like there was no version of me just like, dude, if I could get some pussy and the pussy was going to do the work back in the day, there's nothing I could do, man. It's beyond my control. It's like, yeah, as long as she was in the bed every night and I was going to, you know, of course I'm going to hit every night, but it's like, oh, you think you're going to you're going to go to California for 10 days? Meanwhile, I don't know who the hell knows what she was doing. I don't know what she was doing out there. Probably trying to find some rich man. Probably trying to better deal my ass. But who knows? Hypergamy never ends, as we know. But it's hardwired into them. They can't do nothing about it. It's fine. I accept it. But yeah, I started banging one of my big booty coworkers, and she did all the work. It's like I was you know, a super high functioning retarded person / undiagnosed fake autism, and you know, just completely oblivious. Everybody knew she was leaving town, so next thing I know, I'm over at the coworker's house. You know, she's putting it on me. You know, goodness gracious. And I'm basically like, well, that was fun, but as you know, my wife is coming back, so my wife gets into town, so this has been fun. But I don't know what to tell you. I'm not leaving my wife, so see ya. Crazy, man. Crazy times. That was like eight versions of Benton ago. Yeah, epic W, right? Yeah. She did all the way again, man. She did all the work. I didn't have to do shit. She basically was like, "Hey, come to my apartment," and I was like, "Oh, why would I come to?" You know, it was like, "Okay, I'll." Pretty sure I know what these signs mean. All right. See you. What time? Okay, I'll be there. See you later. And I think I'm slick. Like you think the coworkers didn't know? Of course they did. That's how. That's how out of it I was back then. Just doop doo doo, big old goofy Benton bebopping around, fat as fuck at the time. I don't think I was peak fatness yet, but I was on my way. Doop doo doo. I used to have, man. I started that job, and that chick still worked the front desk. She was a receptionist. She ended up. I was in IT support or whatever. She ended up transferring to my department. So yeah, not a great idea to start banging the person you sit in a room that I sat in a room with all day every day. But whatever, we got through it. Although I don't think I worked there that much longer, but I don't know that it was really because of her necessarily. But Hang on, I got to check the map real quick. 11:33. Imagine that. First time I've looked at the clock in however long. It's 11:33. Shocking. I can't believe it. But hang on, give me a second. Let me check the old map. I wouldn't want to, just in case I have going to 5 different Dollar Trees. I want to get this over with today. Yeah, we're coming up on the outskirts. So let me Dollar Tree. Yeah, let's see locations. Oh shit, Family Dollar. Yeah, we're not there yet. Oh, here's the Dollar Tree. Did I miss one? Albuquerque. What? Okay, never mind. How many Dollar Trees are there in Amarillo? Oh, it's not. There's, dude. I guess 10. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 Dollar Trees in Amarillo. Oh, it's 93 miles away. Shit. The fuck is wrong with me? I was way off. Yeah, it's more like 100. When I said it was like 80 miles or 60 miles, it's more like 150. And I realize now I kind of skipped past some of my thoughts on my first trip to Cali with respect to I-40 and Route 66. But that was really my first time, other than when I was a little kid, we went out to the Grand Canyon on 40. But I didn't know anything back then. I didn't know what the fuck I-40 was. You know, I knew about Route 66 to some extent. My dad was kind of geeking out on that to some extent. But I was too young to really give a fuck. And I remember, listen to this. I know I've told this story before, but so we stayed in a motel somewhere in the general vicinity of Albuquerque. It definitely would have been a La Quinta. My dad was a big La Quinta guy for some reason. I don't know why that was exactly, but we almost always stayed at a La Quinta. Here they come slow merging. And hang on, we got to watch the traffic. People are creating an unsafe situation here. They can't decide if they want to go fast or slow. But so for some reason, and I don't know, I've never fully figured this out, but once I got to once I hit about age 10, I could just pretty much go anywhere in our town on my bicycle. But, you know, I wasn't physically capable. So it's basically like the range was limited by how far could I pedal the fucking bicycle. So, you know, I wasn't going to pedal. It was too busy of a highway to try to pedal my happy ass down Dollaway Road into Pine Bluff proper. You know, we were technically out in Whitehall, but I could basically, by the time I turned 10 years old, I could pretty much go anywhere I wanted in Whitehall. And in fact, now that I think about it, when we lived in Pine Bluff in the subdivision, I could go pretty much anywhere I wanted to on my bicycle in our subdivision. So that was probably age. I don't even remember. It's hard to remember what my ages were back then. But I want to say I was like, here they go, man. What's wrong with these truckers, man? These truckers pull over onto the shoulder, and then now they just pull right into the slow lane. They're supposed to get up to about 30, maybe 40 on the shoulder and then merge. Like, what is this? I'm noticing this bizarre trend now. It's very strange. Anyway, I'm not sure when that started. But, oh, yes, 90 miles to Amarillo. Never mind. But at least I got the GPS ready to guide us there. And so I went on foot. Somehow I figured out there was a super center nearby. This would have been like, super center still would have been a relatively new thing, right? This would have been 80. I guess I was 12 or 13, I guess. It would have been like, I think after that, I was finally old enough that I just started telling my family, like, yeah, I understand we're still doing family vacations. I'm not going. So I think that was probably the last time I was like, all right, I'm good on the whole family vacation thing. And, you know, the summer vacation, Benton family, fucking whatever that is, Benton family vacation. My dad was just too much of a lunatic. My mom had way too much anxiety. It was horrible, dude. Horrible. But either way. So somehow, maybe it was visible from the motel. I have no idea. But I walked across what would have been a field, except it was Albuquerque. So it was just some like dry fucking whatever low-lying area. And I walked to the Supercenter and I shoplifted a cassette tape, which I'm almost certain was a band called Giant, if anybody remembers this. It's terrible music, but it was some rock group, rock slash pop music that was on the radio at the time. And if this says anything about my hand strength, I have big, strong hands, and by then I'd figured out the cassette tapes. I could like put my hand into the whatever anti-theft device they put around the cassette tape. I could just kind of insert my hand into it and make a fist, and it would just break. It would break off of the cassette. Walk my happy ass back to the motel. But looking back on it, like a couple years later, I was like, what the fuck was I going to do if I got caught? Now it's like I'm going to call it's like, yeah, now y'all got to go find my parents. So we're from Arkansas. I'm on vacation. I was like, what is this? Like I don't know, man, whatever little bit of thrill I got, it wasn't worth it. It's like, yeah, I was able to shop. It's like, dude, you can just wait till you get back home to shoplift, And I'm not a shoplifter as an adult, but in my youth, there was certainly some shoplifting going on. Not proud of it, not ashamed of it. It is what it is. I'm a bit of an anarchist freegan, at heart, as far as, corporations are certainly, even back then, were eating out our sustenance. That was a large corporation. It's not like I stole from some mom and pop, but even then, either way. Fucking coworkers. Yeah, I learned from that is like, okay, no more banging coworkers. Unless I'm quitting, unless I know I'm not staying here anyway. But back then, man, I was too young. I was still like early 20s. Like, just if the chick was halfway attractive and she was going to make it easy for me, I really had no capacity to say. I really didn't have the capacity to say no. It really wasn't up to me. Now, some of that is going to sound like a justification, and it is, but I mean, it's also, yeah, I wasn't out there like, I never was chasing women like, oh, I'm going to go see what I could find. It was just like, oh, it came up and found me. Like, I'm not going to be able to say no to this. And, yeah, she was an attractive lady on some level, certainly. Bit ahead of her time with the curviness, I'll say. Bit ahead of her time with the thickness. So, yeah, good times. Good times were had by all, as I remember. Anyway, that's a bit cringeworthy to talk that way, so I'll shut the fuck up now. But yeah. Shout out to the chat. 20 people listening to these inane ramblings. So, yeah, I don't know how much of the spiritual topics I have right now, I'll tell you. It's always kind of there below the surface, but probably there's going to be some study time involved, especially if I actually manage to burn the boat and get rid of this card. You know what I pay? Listen to this. For folks who from other states, and I won't even give you the time to guess, but so a hypothetical guess, right? But it's just comically, it's not even worth the fact that technically I could have avoided, if I do in fact get to the West Coast and just get rid of my car, it's like, okay, why waste the money with the tax? $20 for tags. $20. Amazing. And then what did I pay? Because previously I was only paying enough property tax on this car. I was only paying what the past due. So with the past due amount, with the fucking late fee, so I just went ahead and paid the entire thing off. Because I do recognize if I do actually get rid of the car, I'm just going to call Baxter County and be like, hey, no more car. So take me off of that, which I guess will take me off the rolls entirely, or at least as being, maybe I'll owe $1 or whatever. But then with the late fees, with the $2.50 charge for using a credit for paying over the internet, $65. So I paid $65 for the property taxes. I could have paid $27.50 with the fee, and then $20 for this is fucking Arkansas is still in a time warp. It really is. These bullshit ass, backwards ass states, man. It's comical, right? It is, and I'm happy to be from Arkansas. No inspections, no vehicle inspections. Certainly no smog or emissions. They don't even want to look at the car anymore. Finally, they figured out it's not even worth pretending like you can't get anything inspected and passed, right? They said, why even keep up the pretense? Let's just drop it entirely. Why even bother? And I'm pretty sure it'll pass smog. Hell, we don't even have a check engine light on right now. Yeah, believable, Sister T. You say unbelievable, but and I agree with the spirit of what you're saying. I've converted the spirit of unbelievable into just believable. And I don't know what you're unbelievable in, but probably my the male the sexual habits of the high testosterone 22-year-old male, perhaps. But yeah, on some level, it truly wasn't up to me if that's what you're unbelievable in. But it's not like I'm telling you anything if you are in fact a female, and I believe that you are. If not, that's okay. And here, I'll tell you, if anybody wants to know why here's part of the reason I've retired from the dating and relationships. Part of it is it's like, yeah, I'm done with the sexual Olympics. No more. I'm good. Thanks. Appreciate it. So meaning I would have to go back into training. And even then it's like, there's a limit to what I can do. We got technology, right, ladies? You know. Uh, I'm Chad Light. I've never been actual Chad Thundercock. It's like, yeah, I'm Chad Light. I can put in, I can really fucking go into training. Like I used to train for this. I'm not even kidding. I used to train for this shit. No bullshit. I trained, and I never was just naturally Chad Thundercock, just out of the fucking. Well, that's not exactly true. Probably, but that was like when I was like 19, right? So either way, it doesn't even matter, you know. Um, and then, I'm a little bit flexible in the dating department. So, you know, what I might end up dating, it's like I don't even want to find out what I might end up dating these days. Probably a black woman, but although the West Coast black woman, that's a whole nother animal. I don't think it'd be one of them. Although, LA is the melting pot. I could probably meet some fucking black black chickie from Mississippi or something. Going to USC, all right. But I'm good, man. I'm retired until I unretire. And that's what I say. I hope I don't get married for the third time. So it's not entirely up to me, but I sure hope not. I sure hope not. Yeah, sexual Olympics, Rachel. Yes, sexual Olympics, Rachel. Indeed. Oh yeah. I didn't know you were here, but good to see you. But yeah, sexual. And I don't want to get too graphic. I'm identifying in a particular type of way these days. But yeah, sexual Olympics, meaning it's a competitive endeavor. I was competing, right? Because I understood I'm not the first gentleman to, I think Prince did a song about this to some extent, some about the jockeys that were there before me, right? Some version of that. Understanding I'm competing with, whoever was there before me, whoever's coming later, right? I want to be remembered fondly, Rachel. I'm a competitor by nature. I'd like for everybody. I'm gonna have a good time, Rachel. We know that. We know I'm gonna have a good time. So why shouldn't she have a good time? It's kind of my job, right? Isn't it my job to make sure she has a good time? Now, yeah, some of that was I was watching myself in the mirror, Rachel. Yeah, some of that was, oh yeah, it's me and ex-wife number two in the motel, and yeah, I was watching myself in the mirror to some extent, sure, and I'm watching her to some extent, but it is what it is. It's like, I've talked about in the past that at a certain point I lifted so many weights and ate so much food that I had the lower body of an NFL running back. So it's like, what do you think I was looking at? Like, how do you think I know that, right? Whatever. He's all thighs. He's all ass and thighs at a certain point. But whatever. But whatever that was, does it really matter, Rachel? No, it doesn't. But it's over. That's my point, Rachel. It's over with. Like, it's just over. It's there. And this is one of my major criticisms of old men, Rachel, is old men, they never really figure out that it's over, man. It's like, bro, it's over. It's fine. Hopefully, hopefully they did their damage. At a certain point, as I began to age, I recognized that really the only advice I would impart to the younger fellas would be get as much as you can, because it's a blessing. A woman is a blessing in a man's life, whether it's for a night, an hour, a week, 10 years, whatever that is, right? Whatever that is, it's a blessing. It's a woman will never truly understand what that is from a man's. And again, not meant to. And vice versa. I'll never know what it's like, these experiences from a woman's perspective. But I certainly was blessed to have the experiences I had. But looking back on it, yeah, some older fella needed to pull me aside and say, look, we can tell that some of these chicks like you, like, maybe go ahead and maximize some of this. And by the way, don't be a fool, protect your tool. How about you don't knock any of these broads up? And, probably part of the reason I didn't have more experiences, and I did okay, but I did well compared to my peers. I did quite well, but I could have maximized it. Maybe I would have knocked one of them goofy broads up. If I had. There's a few goofy broads, and I say that fondly. It's a term of endearment. There's a couple of goofy broads that were like, "Hey, we want some Benton, but you're gonna have to date us." And I'm like, "Hey, I'm Benton, and I probably would date you, except I already have a girlfriend." And it's like, I'm not a womanizer enough to try to lie to them to have them think I'm going to be their boyfriend, right? I just wasn't that way. But then it was sort of up to them at that point. It's like, okay, maybe mess around a little bit here and there, but on the it's sort of a trial run. I sort of respected it. It was like one of them just was like, hey, I know you keep coming to my fucking dorm room and all of this, and that's great, but I hope you understand, like, this ain't never going to happen, because I want to, she was telling me like that she wanted to be my girlfriend. It's like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm too dumb to break up with this one to go with her, right? I mean, that's really what it was. It was like, hey, I'm just too stupid to go ahead and break up with this one. So I don't know what to tell you. And I got to imagine that's a lot of frustration for the young females, right? And I don't mean young, I mean 20, college age females, to be attracted to these college age dudes and like, these guys are idiots. And even the ones that they like are, I'm still an idiot. That's a fucking idiot. Right. So, I do have a lot of compassion and empathy into all of this for the ladies. I identify with the plight of the ladies to some extent. I can only imagine what they were going through back then. I can only imagine, because I look back on, and I was one of the better guys, like, on to some level. I was still a fucking asshole and a dick and all of this, but it could have been way fucking worse. I could have been way much more of an idiot. I easily could have had an official girlfriend, a side piece. I could have had two different chicks that thought they were both my. I could have had one that was my official girlfriend because we met in high school, went to college with her, right? Followed her to college in some way. Although, to some extent, my parents weren't going to send me to Fayetteville and pay for it. But part of that was, well, Holly's going anyway, so might as well send him there. Okay, fine. And then, because then we were a good couple. We were a cute couple or whatever. We made a good couple. People were into it, right? And this was pre-social media. They were into it in a bit of a soap opera type of way. Two Leos, by the way. Word is Bon Jovi. I'm still trying to break myself of this habit of saying, by the way, but yeah. Apropos of nothing, perhaps. Here's the never-ending 372-ounce steak signs. We're not doing that to ourselves, but I could actually probably to this day eat the steak. Not the steak and the sides. The sides is what gets you, in my opinion. I could absolutely eat 72 ounces of steak. Now, maybe not now, but because of my health issues, but definitely previous to prior to the chronic illnesses, certainly. But, and man, listen to this. I still, And this is part of the reason why I tell the young fellas, why I would tell the young guys get as much as possible, because I don't have a lot of regrets from my youth. But man, I just look back on it and I'm like, dude, I was so oblivious. Like these women, it's because some of them aren't going to just say, "Hey, dummy," like, what do I have to do here? Like, they're not just going to directly invite me to their apartment. You know, some of them have a little too much. Some of them have a little too much class, right? But Satina Mosley, don't try to find her. Oh my God, gorgeous, man. Gorgeous black chick. Dark as the midnight sky, man. Oh my God, gorgeous. Woo! Woo! I remember running into her at the Supercenter in college. She's telling me all about her, whatever idiot she was dating that was like basically beating her up or whatever. I'm assuming a black fella. And I remember thinking, like, yeah, I really would like to maybe I would be willing to break up with a broad for Satina Mosley, but it's like, yeah, I'm not. She's gonna have to get rid of this dude, and then even then, as much of an idiot as I was, I probably did the. Do I really want this guy showing up? Getting territorial. Probably not. And then I kind of got the idea maybe she wanted me to go kick his ass or whatever. Which, yeah, I mean, I'm not a fighter, but I probably, if I chose to start dating her, I would have been. I'm capable of being possessive enough back then to be like, look, dude, I don't know what to tell you, man, but if we just have to fucking duke it out, I guess we're gonna have to. But whatever. I don't know what to say, man. But that's my woman now. You done fucked up, partner. And probably could have just done some version of intimidating him into leaving me the fuck alone and leaving us both of us alone. Who knows? Dude, crazy. Crazy times. Oh my goodness. She was a solid 9. I'm not even kidding. Solid 9.0. Oh my God. Amazing. Amazing. Woo! Woo! So that's I don't have a lot of regrets, but that it's quickly going to be like, to all the women I could have had and didn't, right? All the women that wanted to share themselves with me, perhaps, and I couldn't get out of my own way enough to make it happen. And back then, it's not like I would have done her any good overall. It's like, yeah, we weren't. That was pre-sexual Olympics, Rachel Zinger. That was, I was okay probably for my. Well, I was, but this was no like we weren't quite. We hadn't grown into what we would be later. Some of that enhancement stuff some of that's real. Get into the jelking and the fucking kegels and all that, the breathing section. Some of that's a real thing. Male multiple orgasms. That's a real thing. At some point, it's like, damn, am I gonna, am I gonna have to be some version of a, what do they call that, iron crotch kung fu or whatever? It's like, damn, dude, to what degree am I willing to take this training? Like, where does it end? Where does it end? But yeah, I'm not able to do any of that now. I can assure you. I could go into training for a month and then I could put in like one performance, maybe two, and then it'd be like, all right, I'm going to need another month off. So I don't know what you're going to do for the next month, but yeah, that's where we're at on that. See you next month, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that'd work best for both of us. See you in about a month. Because here's one thing ex-wife number 2 mastered very quickly was she knew that I was the type of guy that if I wanted to go to the West Coast and have adventures, by God, I was going to go to the West Coast and have adventures. She also knew I was the kind of guy that I'm just going to show back up one day. And when I come walking through the door, I don't want to hear even one question about where have you been? What have you been doing? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. But she also knew, as long as she knew to shut the fuck up and not ask, probably in the afterglow, I'm probably going to tell her some version of where I've been and what I've been doing. Yeah, it's going to be my version, and I still don't want to be asked a bunch of questions, but, whisper sweet nothings in my ear, and probably I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Right? So good on her. Number 1 never would have figured that out, certainly. But in a lot of ways, I probably, if I had it to do over again, but I didn't have the option of staying with number one. But number one, I hate to say it, really was the gal for me overall. As much, me and number two had a lot of fun, and it was great. It was really awesome all the way through. But well, not across the board, but mostly good. But number one, we were just too dumb to know that we didn't have to argue just because our stupid parents like to argue and fuss and fight. That we didn't have to. We could freely choose not to fucking yell at each other every other day, but we just were too dumb to figure that out for some reason. Anyway, that's about all I want to talk about the relationship stuff. And the audience ain't here for it anyway, so which I do respect on some level. Now, some people are here for pretty much anything I want to talk about, which I also respect. But subtly, the numbers are letting me know to move on. So I get it, YouTube. I get it. YouTube, you're my only friend. Well, that's not true, but in a way it is. But unsurprisingly, I pretty much have no IRL friends unless I ever, even the great Henry Hopper, who's probably passed away by now. Probably my last actual friend who, and by friend, I mean, I would do, when people are like, oh, I'd do anything for my friend. It's like, well, not anything, but, there's a lot of stuff I do for my friend and vice versa, and vice versa. Now, here's the question. I'm not above having a beer or a shot here and there. And I'm shockingly, some may not know, I've always been able to have a drink or two. But I mean, I'm talking about one or two drinks, meaning no more than a 20. Because a lot of people think a 24-ounce beer is one. No, that's not one beer. That's two beers. My thing's always been, if I have 5 drinks, I might keep drinking. If I have 5 drinks and decide to keep drinking, nobody, including me, can stop me. I don't know. I might want to wet my whistle. But then now we get into, it's early enough in the day. It's already 1 o'clock though, right? What time zone am I on? Although, no, that's not true. It's noon. I don't know. Maybe. Although Texas might be a good place to stop and buy what, kids? Unless I want to drive. Now, here's how much of a pothead I am. I know that I can drive from Amarillo if I'm just really desperate for weed. I can drive, which I'm not, but I could drive. I could drive northwest from Amarillo back way up to I forget the town in New Mexico, but you hit 25 in New Mexico, and then it's only like another 40, just coming from memory, like 40 to 50 miles. Once you hit I-25, I think it is, it's only like another 40 miles maybe to Trinidad, Colorado, where there's dispensaries. Oh my God, I remember now. Last time I stayed in Trinidad, it used to be every time I quit a truck driving job, I'd immediately drive to Trinidad. I found a local motel, and I walked one morning to a liquor store. They had like a 12% fucking pint of stout. Oh, it was like a coffee. Oh, that's so good. Coffee stout. I don't even remember what kind it was. Oh my God, it was so good. And I've said for a long time, man, give me a beer and a blunt, and I'm good, man. That's true. Give me a beer and a blunt, I'm good. Like, that's all I need. And if it's early in the morning, maybe we'll go hippie speedball. But I don't know if we're talking coffee stout, right? Which I don't think has actual caffeine in it. But either way, give me a beer and a blunt, and I'm good, man. But then I really don't want that in the car. I don't want the car smelling like blunt. It's so fucking, I like to smoke blunts. It's so fucking windy out here. The blunt just burns right up. I mean, we're going to have to go for the vapes, man. And it's like, yo, man, I like those alternate vapes as much as anything else. Now, I will say this, meaning the THCO, which you can't even really find THCO anymore. It's got a bad name on account of that popcorn lung. But then you get into, man, some of the best vapes I ever had were those, what do they call? I forget the brand in LA, those pods. And I don't know if Grills is still here or not. Hopefully he's got the good sense to have found something else to do by now. But if Grills is still around, I forget the brand name. It's one of the well-known SoCal, brand names for pot, but one of the bigger names. I think old Moose worked for him actually, and they had pods, and I hate the pods, man. It's like, yo, I got a nice battery, just a 710 thread battery. Why we got to do pods? Fuck. I'm not. Yeah, I understand. It's a bunch of rich folks in SoCal. I'm not rich. And meanwhile, the Bay is like, yo, anyway, forget about what the Bay does. That doesn't even matter. But the Bay will shame us a little bit for some of that behavior. But they don't even matter. I think I'm going to SF and I'm going to eat some mushrooms, maybe. Because the mushrooms I had, they don't seem to be full trip. But I don't really want to fully trip. I don't want to trip balls where I'm at in my spiritual journey. I really kind of want to lean into the unreality. And I enjoyed my first time just buying some mushrooms, mushroom fucking gummies or whatever. Although, if I'm willing to put my name in a database, I know I can go to the Castro and buy actual fucking mushrooms on the street. But they want me to join some church. It's like, yo, I'm just not joining your church. So yeah, I would like the mushrooms, but I'm not joining the church. And I'm probably not even willing to eat mushrooms at this point, where I'm at in my spiritual journey. But dude, these pods, SFV, man, SFVOG, oh my God. Bro, that might be the best I've ever had for a vape. Amazing SFVOG. And I forget the brand name, but woo, amazing. Amazeballs. Oh, it's easier. No, it's not that. It's one of the big names. Oh, you're still waiting for your car? Oh, I didn't know your car was getting worked. Was your car getting worked on? Oh, okay. Well, either way, I'm glad you checked. At least Grills is. I do the same thing when I tell somebody something like that was the largest greenhouse in the world or whatever. Then I start thinking, wait a minute, I need to make sure that's actually true. So good on you, sir. But it's the biggest in its class in some kind of way, I'm sure. And records are made to be broken anyway. San Fernando Valley OG Kush, indeed, sir. Indeed. Oh my God. Probably, and I've said for a long time, OG Kush is my favorite all-time strain. But as we know, by the time I ever even heard of OG Kush, there was already multiple OG Kush strains, right? Surely we're all aware of that. And then, so as far as I'm concerned, SFVOG is as much OG Kush as anything else, right? So that's probably my favorite. It's probably my favorite, honestly. And I know what OG stands for and the whole thing. I get it. I'm tapped into the lore to some extent, but yeah, it's still my Blue Dream, man. Blue Dream's right up there too. And actually, I have to say, overall, I'm really more of a sativa guy. And then here's when we get to Benton and the idea of, I've never been a stimulant guy. And for some people, stimulants goes the other way. And people talk about chamomile tea as relaxing. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, except I get energy from it. It's like, it's not relaxing for me. So actually, a lot of sativas go the other way with me. And a lot of, meaning it actually has more of an indica effect. And then also some of the fucking indicas, I can smoke them all day. I'm just all day, every day. OG's one of them for me. Not the SFV OG. That shit will put me, at least I don't know about the flower, but the vape would put me to sleep. So, hey, Mad respect, because and I don't know that I've ever smoked the flower. I need to try some flower actually before I declare it my favorite actual fucking OG phenotype or whatever we're calling it. I don't know, whatever that is. I'm not a weed expert, but shout out to a lady, most likely a lesbian, but who even cares? It's Portland. A Portland bud tender who I described. We guys are talking about, because she's more or less like wanting to know how do I get down, and it's like we're all heavy indicas, but however, I got to describing it, and she's like that I do like some sativas, and she's like, you know what? I got a sativa for you. It's called Cinex. And actually, people may not know this. A lot of sativas, if you actually read what the effects are, a lot of them do, they express more like what people associate with indicas. Cinex, Cenex, one of my favorite all time fucking weed strains. Amazing. Now, I'm pretty sure that was I think I got an oil that time. I think I was going fucking Yocan oil pin. That Yocan oil fucking burner life. Dude, listen to this, Grills. I probably told this to you before, but I was so homeless at the time. I just laid down, and this is when I was really starting to embrace the going to sleep early. I laid my happy ass down on the cobblestones of Old Town Portland, started burning that train wreck Earl, and the damn safe and clean or whatever. The bozos they paid a patrol downtown thought they were going to come tell me to move along, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you. And the young girl, the young blondie, was like, "Is that oil?" I was like, you know how we do. I was fucking posted up. I think I just fucking slept the night on the cobblestones, like outside some loud ass bar. I mean, what's the difference at that point? What they gonna do to me, Jack? That would have been, I don't know, 2016, 2017, somewhere in there. It's like, what y'all gonna tell me, Jack? It's like I already got the safe and clean fucking. I already got downtown trying to, whoever these people are trying to move me along. I might as well just hang out across this. I might as well sleep across from the bar. Fuck, if I'm going to get woke up anyway, what's the difference? I'll just sleep right here. What you gonna tell me? Right by the Max train. It's like, make sure the Max ain't gonna run me over. Right by the Max tracks in Old Town. Posted up. I was like, listen, little chickie, I'm not gonna have you out here implying I'm doing something wrong, fucking hitting my oil pan out here, crazy. And then she's like, "Is that oil?" I was like, "Bitch, I went to the MLK Workers Center and waited, came back day after day till they pulled my number on the lottery. I worked an honest day's work to buy this oil. I paid $5 for a bus pass and took my happy ass to Vancouver, Washington, and paid $5 a gram for this here Earl lady. Leave me alone." Oh, and a cartridge, a fucking what was that? G13 or whatever cart. I don't know if it was G13, but it hit fucking hard. It hit hard, boy. Woo! I said, give me all of them. I said, give me every stereotypical strain you got. If it's $5 a cart, like I'll take an AK-47. I'll take a G13. Fucking whatever the hell, whatever they were smoking in half baked. I don't give a fuck. Let me get a what was that Durban? Let me get a Durban poison. Give me every give me a Maui Wowie. Give me every weed stereotype in the game, y'all. I'm living my best life. Yeah, real OG. Yeah, who knows, man? I can't even tell the difference. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Shively. Always a pleasure to see you, Mr. Shively. I didn't realize that was you that said SFVOG. Good to see you, sir. Always a good day when Mr. Shively swings through. My apologies. I was not correctly reading the names earlier. All right. 22 to groom, whatever the fuck. we done accidentally touched a knuckle to the phone screen, and you know that makes StreamYard run for the fucking hills. God forbid you think you're going to inadvertently touch the screen. Although probably it's actually Motorola gestures. Actually, it's probably the problem. 48 miles. We're still 48 miles out apparently from the Dollar Tree. I need a specific item. I'm feeling confident. One of the 9 Dollar Trees in Amarillo would certainly have to have it. My window shades cover up my windows. And you know what? This fella, a homeless fella in LA left, I swear, I wish I was making this up. He left his flippers in my car. I shit you not, flippers. And I forgot that they were perfectly shaped to jam up in the corners of my windshield to keep my actual proper oversized reflective, whatever we're calling those things, in place. And the suction cups don't really work. So unfortunately, I tossed those out. And when I moved out of the truck, I left my brand new. Well, before I washed it, I found a brand new hoodie, the thickest hoodie I've ever found or owned in my life. It's an MTV hoodie, and it had a RuPaul on the front, and the back said, "The future belongs to those who slay." I left that in the truck. Let the safety guy find that. He draw whatever conclusions he wants. I ain't too worried about it. But either way, what a bozo that fella was. Yeah, girls. OG's tough to grow. Oh, I don't know. XXXOG. I don't know. You know way more about it than I do, clearly. But either way. But yeah, I don't even know if it's probably not worth trying to divert off the beaten path. The reality is, if I just want to get stoned, this is just, and this says something about the state of cannabis that I know I could just stop at a smoke shop in Amarillo and get a fucking one of those, alternate cannabinoid vape pens, and it'll be, it won't be one of the. It'll be as good as your average cartridge, out of a dispensary in LA. It'll be as good. In fact, in some ways it'll be better. In some ways it won't be quite as good, but it won't be as good as the good shit, of course. But I'm a bit frugal anyway. But yeah, it'll cost more. It'll cost like $40, and it'll be as good as a $20 SoCal cart. So I mean, there's that. But whatever. I don't know. It might be $20 for a 1G. Let's see. Right lane closed ahead. Bucky's 38 miles. I don't reckon Bucky's sells. Hell, they might, but I doubt it. Does Bucky sell intoxicants? Intoxicating, vaporizing pens? Does Bucky sell intoxicating vaporizing? I don't know. I'm thinking about this. I haven't had a shot of tequila or mezcal in a while. I'm thinking about, but if I do a shot, I'm going to want a beer. It's like, I don't know. I'm prepared to deal with that level of buzz. Probably not, honestly. And it's like, I don't know, dude. I am hardcore enough to just walk into a bar, have a shot of tequila neat, and give them a half a dirty look if they try to ask me if I want training wheels. It's like, well, I'm pretty sure the neat part, but yeah, okay, technically, I guess you're supposed to ask. But whatever. And down it, and then, well, I don't know. Maybe I might pay for something halfway decent. So I might take a sip just to taste it. Walk the fuck out like a man. I don't know. My gallbladder's already telling me not to, so probably I won't. But almost sure I could do one fucking shot. Then now I gotta wait. But I don't think I'm gonna eat. I'm pretty sure I'm done eating. And it's probably we're getting into extended egg time. I'm probably not going to do egg time until I actually stop to nap it out. Oh, wait a minute. And is there? I don't see any version of a bar. Although there is a chalet inn. You never know. Although whatever Indian owns that probably doesn't have it. Because I could probably, if I could find the actual owner, I could probably be like, "Hey, man, I'm stone cold sober. How about I give you this $10 bill and you fucking pour me a slug of whatever you're drinking." But I'm not into the brown liquors, which is probably what it would be. I don't know, man. If it's actually just one for the road, meaning just one actual drink, that actually goes pretty well with driving and legal. Even at my reduced body weight, one drink still would be. Of course, it's always up to the cop if you're impaired. But then the cop is, it's like, I guess I'd have to brush my teeth. Tequila would be a bad choice just from me potentially talking to the popo and tequila breath, though. I don't know. One beer doesn't really sound appealing. There you go, whiskey distillery taste testing. I like tequila or mezcal, but I don't know, man. We're getting out west far enough. An actual bar, especially one open this time of day, it's likely to have probably has actual mezcal, but the smoke, the unrefined type of mezcal. Your tequila with the worm is usually actually mezcal. If anybody's curious about that. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. If I had a 6-shooter, I'd be fired up in the air right about now. Really, I need to stay hydrated. Is what I need to do. I'm not thirsty. That's the problem. But I need to drink some water. All right, we took a little sip. Wet my whistle. And a lot of days I think about having a Guinness or whatever. Usually, not a lot of days. I shouldn't even say it that way. But when I think about it, usually I'm like, well, yeah, but I'm already craving egg time. I'm not going to do that to my body. I'm not going to have booze and then, try to expect my organs to deal with a high fat meal, right? We're not doing that. It's a bit of a non-starter. I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling bait penny enough, but I might see. It's a good problem to have, I suppose. Although I've always done well getting pulled over intoxicated, but you never know, man. Some of these cops are getting savvy enough to figure out like that they figured out they can actually get DUIs if they're relatively sure I'm actually just really high on cannabis. So am I really going to have one shot of tequila and then like 2 puffs off a vape? I mean, I don't know, maybe. Knowing me, it's like, yeah, I feel confident about the booze, but I don't feel confident about the not continuing to hit the vape. Although I drive all these miles and like never get pulled over, that's also a thing. Got coming up on half a tank, and we got about 200 miles, which is not great, but it's not outside the bounds of what's normal. And sometimes there's a headwind headed west. I think maybe that may have something to do with. I wonder if I had a tailwind maybe coming back from LA all the way back, perhaps. Although it got crazy windy at a certain point, just from all directions. It's like how's the wind coming from all directions simultaneously? But it was. Smoking and driving, well, good for you. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like I trust my ability to do that. It's the fact that, I haven't smoked in so long. It is that, I'm sort of reset my tolerance, type shit. So, and I have the type of eyes, thankfully, my eyes don't really show it. And I'm a strange person anyway. I could probably most likely wouldn't have anything to do with it. And for some reason, I don't know why this is, but if I'm just calm and chill, like the cops usually like me for whatever reason. I don't know why that is exactly. Not always, but usually I can tell they kind of like me on some level. And it's harder to just fuck over. But some of them are they're just gonna pull over somebody and fuck them over, and that's just all it is ever gonna be. There's nothing really anybody can do about that, sadly. That is the dystopian police state that we find ourselves in, delusionally sort of just at the levels of surrealism and unreality, right? But then there's also the possibility of, let me come at this from another angle, folks. There's also the possibility of, in fact, I actually have a spare stove now. I bought my stove went on sale for $20. I bought another stove, and my original one is not quite. It works, but it's not what it used to be. Um, there is a version of just paying the $280 or whatever, leaving the car at the long-term parking, just walking the fuck, just however many miles I got to walk in the LAX area to get to a bus or a shuttle or whatever, and then bebopping around SF, just baked to the fucking gills, edibles, fucking vapes, Rick Simpson oil, uh, mushroom gummies, right? I could use a 2 weeks to a month inebriated. I mean, But then, and slices, man. Slices, San Francisco slices, because one of the blessings of a place like San Francisco is I can absolutely find a pizza place with slices that won't tear up my fucking stomach. I even found a place in LA that wouldn't fuck my stomach up, because it's like, yeah, they're using I found two places at Echo Park, actually. And one of them, they told me they were using olive oil. The other one, I never bothered to ask, because I got stoned enough and just fucking YOLO'd it, got away with it, went back. 145 to Tucumcari, whatever. They had a pretty cool little motel me and number two stayed at, Tucumcari. I always say Cary, but it's probably Kari. Either way. But we're a little too close. We want, and they're going to want some version of a weekend rate. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, my bad, that I'm probably in a vacuum. I never finished my point earlier, about 2 hours ago now. That I probably in a vacuum would have stayed a week at the motel in Fort Smith, except I realized that would put me leaving. If I did then head west, that would put me road tripping it, headed right into what? Memorial Day weekend. It's like, well, I'm not going to do that, clearly. So the writing was on the wall, folks. Now I could have, and then I'm thinking, well, do I want to stay Friday and Saturday night for another $92 or $94 and then leave, where I know if I do spend 2 nights that I at least not, but it's like, well, it's an extra $100 either way, right? So it's like, yeah, if I choose to stop at a motel, it's going to be an extra 25 to $50. It's like, yeah, it's what's the fucking difference? You know? But I'll probably nap it to Barstow and just get two nights is always better, I think. Wait till I'm actually tired. 2 nights, you know. Not going to drink, but I'm assuming I could. There's got to be some version of a dispensary in Barstow if I feel like getting stoned, right? If I haven't already bought a vape by then. Is it worth diverting to Trinidad? I'm trying to remember, how many miles is it from Trinidad to Amarillo? Hang on, let's find this out. I need to do it to see what does it add to the total journey. It's probably not worth it. So I actually like those THC. They call it Delta 8, but by now it's all kind of different uh, cannabinoids. There's still some I want to try, but I don't see them in the vapes. Let's see. It already knows. Not Trinidad, California. Trinidad, Colorado. And directions from Amarillo. Some of that will be distance I'm going to cover anyway, right? Oh, shit, 237. Yeah, 237. It's Raton. That was the town I was thinking of. Yeah, 237 to Trinidad. And then let's see if we can add a waypoint. And I can guesstimate what this will add to the trip. Edit stops. Choose destination. Barstow, California. Oh, and we got to tell it to go from where we are. So I got to add another destination. Oh, fuck. I misclicked and it all went away. Come back. Okay, it came back. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, yeah, that adds it basically adds whatever So, yeah. Probably not going to be doing that. Simply not going to be worth it. And I've been to Colorado enough times.
Failed to realize
and my apologies. Failed to realize that I'd. Oh, there's two of me now. Shit.
Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm on the wrong phone.
Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm on the wrong phone.
What a goober.
What a goober.
Yeah, I forgot that.
I forgot that I was on my the main phone. And now, okay, never mind. My apologies for whatever that was. What a bozo. This is who y'all are listening to. Hang on, let me evict one of these morons. It's like, how can you tell the difference? I don't know, maybe I can. Hello, it's me. Okay, that was fun. Hello. Am I here? I think I'm here. I think I'm here. Yeah, that's probably good that I'm thinking about booze and there's nowhere to drink. Although that kind of looks like that might be a little liquor store. But am I really going to buy a bottle and throw it away? I don't think I am. Throw the rest. I'm capable of that, certainly. Yeah, cafe. Oh yeah, remember this is Route 6. Yeah, half the shit's that's not even a place. I forget half these buildings out here are just completely dilapidated, falling down. Yeah, I don't know, Rachel, but thank you. I appreciate the spirit there. Yeah, what's better than one? Two. Got to be two, right? I don't know, man. Depends on one's perspective, but I appreciate the vote of confidence. Mic check. I can't tell if my icon's vibrating or not. I think it is. Mic check. Yeah, we're good. 27 to Amarillo. I guess I better go ahead and bring up the maps. Oh, that's right. Since I looked all that up, it restarted my I had it planned out to take it to the Dollar Tree, so I got to reset that all up. $25 miles out, the Dollar Tree. It's getting gassy in here. I don't know what I did to deserve that, but something's going on. Probably just thinking about those cookies. Oh, I got chocolate in here though. I could always do second round of chocolate, but not if I'm going to drink. So I'm probably not going to drink, but I might. If I'm going to keep driving in the fucking daytime, that's the thing is, man. Like one shot of tequila, bro. I bet I'll have a buzz for 3 hours, man. And yeah, it's still poison, but you know, it's not going to fuck me up that bad. Something about that Murphy Stout though. I've never had one of those. That was rough on the old kidneys. The Guinness never did that to me, unless I drank a bunch of them. And you know, as y'all know, I'm sure a lot of this stuff they don't even brew anymore. It's just some sort of chemical concoction. That liquor store was a real nice upscale liquor store, but remember looking at their singles, it all was like a bunch of that, just this newer style of, you know, Anheuser-Busch having all these, just all this newfangled seems to be made with some kind of new, it's not actually, I'm almost certain it wasn't actually brewed. That's probably why it was rough on the old organs. So I know I could have a deuce fucking Guinness extra stout. It ain't going to do that to me. Anyway, I guess that's probably all the rambling I can do for now. Probably be back at some point. Thanks for watching. Well, of course I will be, but maybe today, maybe not. Thanks for watching. Bye.